Now, I believe that we don't have any more of the paper presenters here. Okay, well, we may be able to get out in time for some tea, but at that point, I would like to thank our last speaker and just ask the audience, would you like to address a question to Dr. Sardana or to make a brief point only, a brief point of your point of view on what you've heard today? A question? No? Should we pause? Okay, we've got one brave colleague there, and that's all we're going to do. If we could have the microphone over here, please. And then we'll press that. Sir, what would you like to say?
Myself, Dr. R.P. Sharma, librarian, Motilal Nehru College.
I'm sorry, could you speak up with the microphone? Okay.
Myself, Dr. R.P. Sharma, librarian, Motilal Nehru College, evening. My question is related to the present paper of Dr. Bhatt, R.K. Dr. Bhatt said that the Ranganathan Commission, there was a recommendation that rupees 200 per teacher.
Wait a minute, what was he asking him?
And rupees 30 per student by the Ranganathan. But today, still today, library is not getting a single paisa on the basis of any teacher. And only rupees 15 at the rate of per student for day colleges. Maximum amount only 15,000. And at the rate of rupees 10 for evening students, maximum amount of 10,000 from the UGC. So my question is, okay, so many period has been passed. The government of India not only reduce the rate.
Keep your question brief, please.
So what are the reasons in this respect?
Okay. See, Dr. Bhatt.
First of all, I would like to bring to my fellow friend that my paper was on history of libraries. I have been trying to emphasize on the kind of recommendations being made by the different committee and commissions. It is very unfortunate part that the kind of recommendations which were recommended by the committee commission, government on one petition or the other could not be implemented this so. This was so daring in case of British rule when entire recommendations died on files only. Few of the majority of the recommendations by these commissions were implemented, and that is why we have seen the day of having more than 300 universities and few thousand of colleges in this country. What is required for the development of higher education and the library in this country is the kind of vision and the will on the basis of which we will have to grow for the higher education system in the country to lead the entire world. We have to have the lesson from the Nalanda University, which had this kind of a culture which has not been existing in the modern world even. The 9-story building is the testimony of itself that the place of the library in the society would have been on very high stream. That has to be realized, that has to be taken into consideration. And I hope and I believe that the recommendation of the Knowledge Commission will be implemented by the present government in the real wisdom and the spirit. If it is so, then the problem which you have raised, that the amount which you are receiving very small and meager, will not be there for sake to quote. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, one more then.
Yeah. Actually, myself...
we can't hear you. I'm sorry. Could you use the microphone, please?
Yeah. Myself, Professor Konnur from Maharashtra. I was the Chief Librarian of Pune University and now the Chief Advisor to one other university, Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapith, deemed university. Dr. Bhatt's paper was on historical account. I'm very much thankful to you for taking the historical account from Nalanda itself, and he has come up to the point. So far as my colleague's question is concerned regarding that there are a few colleges which do not spend whatever was recommended by Ranganathan some 50 years back. What I say is, I have worked in a college library, I have also worked in a school library and as well as university library. So my point is, if the authorities are not spending that much amount on the libraries, we had to prepare some sort of lobbying, we have to prepare some sort of public relations, we have to maintain contact with the authorities and all these things. If we do that, I think there is not the dearth of funds getting for the libraries as such. As you have said, even universities, the colleges are not spending 10,000 or 15,000. There are a couple of universities in India itself which are not spending even that much amount also. I know I do not want to mention that, but at the same time, if you properly make some sort of lobby, you can certainly develop. I'm not quoting myself. When I took over as the university librarian, the total budget for it was 20 lakhs, and within 5 years I could take it to 1 crore. So that is what we have to do. It all depends on how public relations you maintain. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sardana, please.
My dear friends, I would like to bring to your mind notice also that when you look at the education system in this,
could you use the microphone?
when you look into the existing system of school education in Delhi, there is a resolution which is being implemented that each and every student who is studying in the schools from different class will be given 70 rupees per student to all the students. Now look at it, what will be the fate of that 70 rupees if it is being given to some family? It has no meaning at all. But when you multiply the 70 rupees to the all strength of the school students in Delhi, it turns into crores of rupees. I see no reason why the director of education or the minister of education would have a vision of not having distributed this kind of a money for that small purpose, but to collect this money and made available for the development of school libraries. Perhaps the education system of this country will lead to the world. This is the kind of the vision, this is the kind of the wisdom which one has to require into for the development of higher education or the development of libraries as well. Thank you.
And I would like Dr. Sardana to have the final word on some of those comments this morning. Dr. Sardana.
Well, Dr. Sharma has raised a very important question. The question of grants to evening colleges was discussed way back in 1964-65 by a committee. And it is the same rate which is being paid till today. The UGC has not revised it, only colleges are charging more money as for other purposes and so on, and even for library fee, etc. But there has been no committee for the evening colleges after that, and that's going on. But certainly that's a very valid point, and the grants must be increased. And I would say that this is not the place today. At some other forum you can raise it, and this must be taken up seriously, because that's a very valid issue that you have raised it. Thank you.